So I understand you're a spirit.
No, not a spirit.
Oh.
I don't believe in spirits. What I am is a person, same as everyone else. A breathing, thinking, animal Homo sapien.
Yeah, okay. Where were you born?
Here. And I've always been here. Some people move around, but I'm anchored here. Never traveled. Don't want to.
And aren't you curious about what's out there?
Not really. The people I meet tell me plenty of where they've been. But you know, they're always here with me. Not like they leave and don't come back.
But they like it here?
Well, yes. Well, some don't come back. But then I find out they've died. That's really the end.
Oh. Well, you have a good lifestyle, no money problems. How come?
Well, I'm not quite sure why. But I'm from a family which has always had everything in terms of creature comforts.
But I sense there's something you're not completely comfortable with.
Yeah, well, it's the whole business of finding friends. When you have everything else, you really need people around who genuinely like you, and they make you feel worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
Fill the gaps, the empty feelings.
So do you have friends?
It's hard to define that one. I have a best friend, Ori. He's like a big brother, but we're basically the same. Except Ori's more outgoing. We've known each other forever, but our friendship isn't day to day. Both of us need support from others. Ori's got new friends all the time. I envy that. I have a very hard time meeting new people. It's so hard meeting new people.
So what do you do to start a new relationship?
Well, I'm usually not very imaginative, so it's drinks and dinner, the tame stuff, talking to get to know each other.
Go to bars to find new friends?
Sometimes. Or I'll just start small talk with strangers I see around the city, in stores, waiting rooms, whatever. It's amazing how usually I'm ignored, very rude. Or else people glom onto me too quickly and reveal some flaw which confuses me, and to the point where I drop them and go on.
Like what?
Well, sometimes they think a little attention is a sexual turn on. And honestly, when it's a guy, I'm not looking for that. Or some go all new age on me and talk about astrology and past lives. I'm open-minded, but hey, I don't believe a word of it. And those types talk on, and there's never a point to it. Except for the dreamers. When someone tells me what they've dreamed, I just go into Psych 101 mode and have a bit of fun analyzing what it means to them. It's all in their heads, you know. Well, I know. I don't dream.
Uh-huh.
And they don't either, as far as I'm concerned. But they have an amazing capacity to bring up stories to relate what they can't come right out and say. Maybe it's a way of being polite. Not saying what you mean. Not being direct out of fear of hurting feelings. Well, that's what they do. Too timid for the direct approach. It must just be easier for them.
Can you give me an example of indirect communication from a dreamer?
There was this guy who I got to know and like. He was in a financial bind, and I think he was too proud to ask for help. So he tells me about this far-fetched dream that he had. He goes to work in the dream, and there's a message from someone he's never heard of. So he dials, and it turns out the person on the other end of the phone asks him 3 questions. If he answers right, he gets millions of dollars. If wrong, he'll go to jail. So
No.
he gets the first two questions right. And the third question is, how old is your best friend? Well, the guy doesn't have a best friend, so he makes up an answer, 35. So the phone guy says, wrong, and hangs up. Well, then the dream continues on, and the guy's mother shows up with a book. He can't see what the book is, but his mother tucks him into bed and says, don't wake up. So, of course, the guy wakes up. He thinks there's a lesson to the dream, but can't nail it down. And then he moans about his financial plight and tells me he doesn't know what to do. Well, guess what? In telling the dream, he's making a coy, unconscious effort to ask me to help him out financially. But by saying it was a dream, he managed not to be humiliated if I turned him down.
Whoa. So did you help?
Well, of course I did. That's my pleasure in life. Now, I don't want to buy happiness for myself, but when others feel good because of my help, it charges me up. It's a wonderful feeling. However, sometimes, maybe usually, it all turns to muck. But it's not my doing, and all I do is help. What people do with the help is their blessing or burden. The ones who are blessed are my joy until they die. The ones who maybe didn't handle the help well eventually turn on me and become like energy vampires, draining from me the energy the blessed ones gave. That's the bad part.
Can you tell me your name?
Kent Cole.
Well,